Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are on Monday, the 16th of February, and I'll talk about this in a minute. I just wanted to go back a little bit to show this is the heart I did for Valentine's Day. It's just a chain stitch outline, very simple, with a bit of seed stitch in the background. And yesterday it turned out to be green straight stitches in 5 rows for some reason. So today I'm using up this day here. The last time I did a video, I used up some odd ends of thread, and today I'm doing a similar thing. I've got hardly any left of this. This is a silk perle 8, and I've got about 2 needlefuls left. And what I'm going to try and do is stretch it to fill the whole thing. Let's see how we go. Sometimes a useful trick for starting, because you know you look at this blank canvas and you think, even if it's really small like that, you think, oh, I don't know where to start. Start somewhere, start randomly somewhere and take it from there. So I've randomly started down here, and what I'm going to do is maybe a little curving running stitch to make a kind of part circle. And when you haven't got a lot of thread left, what you need is a stitch that doesn't leave too much thread on the back, because you want all that precious last bit of thread on the surface. So for now I'm going with a running stitch. I may use another thread to whip it. Let's just see how far we get. For now, I'm just doing part circles. Silk perle 8, I'm guessing, would be something like 2 strands of DMC, something like that. Looks as if it might be about similar. Any silk thread is delightful to stitch with. Just coming to the end of this last bit of, well, the first bit of thread. I think we might just about get down to there. So I'll just finish that off on the back. So I've got a choice here. I've got one more piece of thread left, and then that really is the last of this one. And it's been one of my favourites. I've really enjoyed working with this one. So I could do straight stitches around here. I could thread some of these stitches. Quite like the idea of that. Because again, with threading, most of your thread is on the surface. Let's do that. Just talk myself into it. I'm just going to start this on the other side. Because with, when you haven't got much thread left, you need something that keeps it most of it up on the surface. No good having all the thread on the back when you've got hardly any left. So I'm going to thread up here. Maybe I'll go into that one because and it doesn't matter if these aren't lined up. In fact, I think it looks better if they're not. I might just extend that a little bit beyond there. And then let's try bringing that back down through there. Let's just think about where we want to end up. I think we might come back down. You can see you've got a choice about which stitch to thread. Might bring it back down to that one. might come up through this arm here. Maybe branch out there a bit. It's a little bit twizzled because it's you know, the last bit that's been wrapped around that cylindrical tube thing. So I'm just taking my time with this a bit, just kind of, I've got one eye on how much thread I've got left, and I've got one eye on how much more there is to thread. So I think I'm going to come back up through here, and maybe we need to come back down through that one as well. And I think I might just take that down there because there's no real advantage to coming back down to there. So I'm just going to come back up here and just take in that one and maybe those. So you're kind of making a decision about which stitches to thread and the effect it's going to give. Just turned it round because it's a little bit easier to get at. The thread is getting a little bit desperate here. It's exciting, isn't it? This isn't supposed to be stressful. Sometimes, you know, when you think your thread's going to run out and you haven't got any more, what are you going to do? Let's see. It'll be fine, it'll all be fine. Just coming down here. And then you can see we've just got a tiny little bit here hiding under this bubbly edging. Oh, look at that. I think I might have to go with the point under that one. If it's a tiny stitch, sometimes you can't get the eye end underneath it. There we go. Look at that. If I turn it over, I've got that much to weave in. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I quite like the way that's turned out. However, I now have a bit of space here, and a bit of space is fine. I feel that's too much space. So I've got a very similar colourway in Silk Pearl 12, which is a bit finer, and I think I'm going to do something similar to that, maybe up here. Okay, so I think I'm just going to echo that shape. And just maybe leave that bit of space between. And then I'm just going to fill the rest of this area here just with curving rows of running stitch like that. Right, I've just done more rows of running stitch here just to fill in this area here. I added another row at the front there, just because that gap looks a little bit too wide. And then I'm just threading these as well. And there we go. I think that's about finished. I think it's a really nice effect, isn't it? It's so simple to do, just running stitch with another thread passed through underneath them all. I've got a little bit of thread left here, which I'm going to bring down into tomorrow. There we go, ready for tomorrow, whatever that may be. But there we are. So it can be very tempting, you know, when you haven't got very much of something left. It can be very tempting to think, oh, I won't use that because I haven't got very much of it. But use it, you know, use it all, because, you know, these are my blue threads. Right, so that's the blue box. I mean, there's a green box, there's a pink box, there's a red box. Well, pink and red are the same, but you know what I mean. I mean, there is a lot of thread there, and I'm finding some satisfaction really in thinking, you know, I've got to use it. I've only got so many. I've got a finite amount of time left. I don't know how long that's going to be, but you know, I've got to start using it. It's no good hanging on to it thinking, oh, I can't use that, I haven't got very much. You know, use it all. And now that I have used the last bit, I'll remember that that's the last bit, and that makes that little square all the more precious. So there we are, that's today's words of wisdom or foolishness. Whatever you're doing today, enjoy your stitching.